Hey, that's a review of the latest Acer Nitro 5, AN17-51 to be exact, with NVIDIA Series 40 and 13th Gen Core i7. It is supposed to be an affordable gaming laptop, but is it really affordable? And how will it handle the gaming part of it? We'll see. Let's get started. First, take a good look over here. This thing is absolutely hideous.
Look how they mess with my boy.
Or like Arnie said in The Predator,
One ugly
I can't even imagine what kind of a Muppet at Acer HQ had seen this new logo and went like, oh, beautiful, marvelous, brilliant logo, let's stick with it. I guess I'll never accept this. But that's what we get. What I do like is this pink and blue kinda pinstriping on the lid. I love it. Some will say this is unnecessary, but The laptop itself has simple shapes, simple lines, a wee shelf in the back. Hinges look and feel quite sturdy. You can open the lid to... how much is this? About 150 degrees. It's a heavy one, 2.8 kilos or 6.17 pounds if you're into these weird units. Carrying it in your backpack should be considered a part of CrossFit. Oh, and don't forget the charger, which is quite heavy too. That's only the fourth laptop with NVIDIA Series 40 that I got my hands on, but by far it has the heaviest charger. So good luck getting the laptop and the charger from your home to your office in your backpack. Indicators are on the right, which is great, because sometimes when they are in the front, their blinking is quite a distraction. Also, we have two USB 3.2 ports there, one of which is always on. On the left you have RJ45, another USB 3.2, a micro SD card reader and a mini jack. I do understand tiny micro SD card readers in tiny, compact, lightweight laptops, but here I was expecting a full-sized SD one. In the back we've got a charging port, HDMI, Type-C with Thunderbolt 4 and a regular Type-C. So I'd say there are enough ports for everything. When I first saw this key, I was like, that's quite a weird placement for a power button, until I saw the actual power key here in the corner. So that one turned out to be for switching performance profiles, or you can program it to instantly switch to turbo mode. The most performant of them all, but we'll get back to software a bit later. Now let's get to the display. It's a 7.3-inch QHD IPS panel with a refresh rate of 165 Hz and 3 milliseconds response time. Also, Acer claims it's a slim bezel design. Please take a good look at it and tell me in the comments if you really think those bezels are actually slim, because I don't. The display itself is quite bright and crisp, the colors are vivid, there's enough brightness, and the resolution is just the proper one for 17 inches. It even covers 100% of RGB color gamut, but it's still an IPS. I understand Nitro laptops are for more or less affordable gaming, but it's 2023 for crying out loud. OLED, mini LED, micro LED. Have you heard of those? They're just better in every single way. Or maybe it's me who is spoiled by flagship gaming laptops. Overall, the display is nice, got to admit that. What do we have inside of it? Intel Core i7-13700H with liquid metal on it, RTX 4060 with TGP of 140 watts, which is quite remarkable if you ask me, 32 gigs of DDR5 RAM clocked at 4800 MHz, and 2 TB of storage. Let's see how it all works and performs. Sure, for gaming and tests I'm using turbo mode in Nitro Sense with fan speed set to automatic and performance mode in Windows. Let's start with storage. I'm not sure what kind of witchcraft is this, but that's the fastest SSD I've seen by far. Absolutely fantastic, something out of this world. Well, actually I know. It's just two proper M2 SSDs in a RAID nil mode. Next, PCMark work test, moving on to TimeSpy Extreme from 3DMark, CPU profile, Port Royale, and to finish it off, ray tracing test and DLSS test. Those are synthetic tests, but what about gaming? I'll keep on the performance/turbo modes in Windows and Nitro Sense, and we'll test everything in QHD resolution with DLSS turned off to have, let's say, pure results. Death Stranding, maximum settings, 100 to 110 frames per second. Good if you ask me. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Yes, I know. Don't think I don't know, because I know. It's not in the proper language. And I'm really sorry about it, but that's the only version I've got. Those Muppets at Ubisoft won't let me add English, and our local Ukrainian localization just doesn't exist. So that's the best I can do with all I have, without dropping my standards to the dark void of piracy. An in-game benchmark just to make the test really honest. 84 frames per second on average, minimum was 35. Red Dead Redemption 2, maximum settings. Again, in-game benchmark. 62 frames per second on average, the minimum is 2 weird frames per second. This minimum frames per second isn't something you see with your own eyes during the test. It's something about this NVIDIA Optimus stuff that switches between your integrated graphics and discrete GPU, and it happens not only with this laptop. NVIDIA really should consider doing something with it. Should have done something with it like 6 months ago, but still hadn't. So it actually has good performance, the temps look pretty decent, and the only thing that kinda bugs me, is the volume of the fans on the maximum RPMs. Don't get me wrong, it's not like hearing a jet taking off or something, but they are a tiny bit louder than I want them to be. Keyboard and touchpad. Keys are big enough, typing is okay, gaming is okay, and of course it wouldn't be a gaming laptop without RGB backlight. It has 4 zones. Space key is a bit wider, WASD, directional keys and Nitro Sense key are highlighted in case you'll forget where those are. The touchpad is a touchpad, and that's pretty much all I can say about it. Nitro 5 has 2 speakers, 2 watts each. Although they give you enough volume, there is no bass. The sound lacks pretty much everything except for the volume, so I'd say it's mediocre. But you'll probably use a headset anyway, so it's fine. So Nitro 5 has 720p webcam. This is how it records video and sound. Pretty decent if you ask me, it would be enough for Skype calling and maybe even streaming something. The laptop has a 90 watt-hour battery. You might think my test is weird, but that's what I do. I put Windows and Nitro Sense in balance mode, I crank up the volume and the screen brightness to the maximum, and I play a Full HD video from YouTube. Then I unplug the battery. With all that done, I had 3.5 hours of battery life, which is pretty much standard for this particular type of laptops. Nitro Sense. Overall, the software is okay. It does exactly what you expect it to do, monitoring temps and loads, changing power modes and fan RPMs, fiddling with keyboard lighting and sound presets. It's comfy, it doesn't have any particular issues, but I believe the design of it was created by the same Muppet who butchered the logo. Because the whole thing screams 90s. The font, the background, it all looks exactly like it was made in the 90s with the idea of making it look futuristic. That's just my opinion though. Anyway, Nitro Sense does exactly what it's supposed to do, and does it well. Yes, the fans are slightly louder on maximum RPMs that you want them to be. Yes, the display could be more modern, but in my humble opinion, the only real issue is the disgusting logo. But some people will be pretty much fine with it. Everything else is just at least decent, so if you're on a budget, but at the same time you crave NVIDIA Series 40 in a 17-inch laptop, I doubt you'll find anything better. It packs a punch, it looks quite good, and it has all you need for comfortable gaming. And that's it. Show some appreciation with your thumbs up, lads, and if you find this review useful, you can subscribe to our channel and wait for other vids. See ya!